Hi Marlina, it's Ashley here. Just excuse my appearance, but I just actually kind of wanted to talk about your discussion, of course. So you had mentioned that you had chosen the collaboration and stakeholders buy-in as the part for this week's discussion. Um, I really actually wanted to talk about the thing where you had mentioned the district guidance, the counselor's newsletter. How you had mentioned that your counselor sends a monthly newsletter on what she's going over in the lessons for the month. For example, you had mentioned resilience. And I actually really love that idea. But my counselor, she doesn't do that. So I just wish that I could see more of that. I think it just depends on the district. I like how you had mentioned that your counselor, your school district is very thought out and resourceful, and that your counselor does deliver weekly guidance plans, and she migrates to different levels. In my campus, she doesn't do any of that, so I would love to see more of that, because a lot of the times right now they just have her doing a lot of the non-counseling duty stuff, like I mentioned before. So she's doing lots of paperwork for like RTI 504, referrals, things like that, and she's also doing a lot of the testing coordinations, especially with all the TIA testing that's been happening more often now in all the grades. So she's been doing that, but I would love to see more of this, how your counselor does it in your school. Going back to the topic on the newsletter, our librarian does send out a newsletter. She meets with the grade levels every week, unless they have like a book fair, or one, unless they're having a book fair, or two, unless they're using the library for testing. But more often than not, she visits the classrooms more than the counselors does. And since I teach pre-K3, she goes to our classrooms. But sure enough, the students have seen the librarian more than they have seen our counselor this year. So I feel that's like a big red flag in a counseling program in my district. I'm sorry, my son is awake. But I'm just thinking of that, how it's just a little saddening to be a part of that kind of district, I guess, where the counselor, going back to what you feel is underdeveloped, that you think there's minimal evaluation. And I actually worked with my counselor on this for the program evaluation instrument. We kind of did, for this assignment that we had to turn in today, we kind of did work on evaluating the school counseling program. And I just kind of agree with you that it's not taken as seriously, and it's not taken to its full potential. I think it's just kind of more of a checklist, to-do list that they just check off. Oh my goodness, I'm just going to, but I feel like this just kind of more of how they, excuse me, sorry, that it's not taken to its full potential, as you mentioned. And I feel like it should be, because the kids need a good counseling program. They need counselors and advocates for their lives. And I feel this is a problem in my school district. I'm curious to know which school district you work in. I work in ECISD here in the Rio Grande Valley. I think I remember you saying you're from the Rio Grande Valley too. But I'll go ahead and stop here, and thank you for sharing, and I'll see you next week.